Brought to you by.
We're here to build because at the end of the day, we're truly Ugandan.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 25th day of February 2022. Now, before we get into tonight's bulletin, let's first take a look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by.
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In our top stories tonight, President Museveni is back from Kinshasa after Peace, Security and Cooperation Summit. Parliament gives Sewanyana Sejirinya families 15 million Uganda shillings. Security cautions the public against bad guys. And finally, joint record winners KCCA ejected by Bright Stars from Uganda Cup.
Was brought to you by. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Good evening once again and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 25th day of February 2022. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu on sign language. Now we start off with our first headlining story this evening. President Museveni has this afternoon returned from the Democratic Republic of Congo's capital Kinshasa, where he has been for the 10th summit of the heads of state and government of the Framework Agreement for Peace, Security and Cooperation for the Democratic Republic of Congo and the region. Museveni joined his counterparts, Republic of Congo-Brazzaville President, His Excellency Denis Sassou Nguesso, and the President of Angola, His Excellency Joao Manuel, and representatives from the 13 countries under the Great Lakes region. The summit saw President Museveni hand over chairmanship of the mechanism to DRC's Felix Tshisekedi. His Excellency President Museveni was accompanied on his visit by the former Prime Minister and head of the African Global Security Foundation, a continental security think tank, Amama Mbabazi. On arrival back at Entebbe International Airport, the President was received by the Vice President, Her Excellency Major Jessica Lupo, and the Minister for the Presidency, Babie Mili Babalanda. Others were the Commander of the Uganda People's Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Charles Lutaya, and Assistant Inspector General of Police, Andrew Sorowen, and Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Samuel Akena. All right, now following a series of national development programs put in place by government, the public service has been encouraged to participate in patriotism training to enable them effectively implement NDP 3. The Ministry of Public Service is among those MDAs that will respond to this call, taking patriotism training at Chankwanzi. Prime Minister Robin Anabanja was at Nali Chankwanzi to represent President Museveni at the closing of the patriotism training. Take a look.
Prime Minister Robin Anabanja has closed a 2-week patriotism training for senior staff of the Ministry of Public Service at Nali Chankwanzi. The Prime Minister, who represented President Museveni, was received on arrival at Nali by the Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, and the Institute's Director, Brigadier General Charles Kisembo. President Museveni urged civil servants to be good ambassadors of unity and social-economic transformation.
With all the parties who have participated in the patriotism program, I commend this initiative because it helps to maintain our collective focus on the most crucial task of building Uganda and Africa. Since the launch of the patriotism program in secondary schools and later higher institutions of learning, a great number of our younger citizens have obtained useful knowledge on their role in safeguarding the future and prosperity of Uganda.
Prime Minister Robina Nabanja handed over certificates to 45 officers. She also handed over books authored by President Museveni about transforming the economy, wealth creation and improving household incomes. The Minister of Public Service, Muruli Mukasa, said the training was in line with the government's policy of enhancing efficient public service delivery. He said the ministry's plan was to have the entire ministry headquarters staff trained on patriotism at Nali.
Nationalism and patriotism are critical pillars in fostering the transformation of our country.
The State Minister of Public Service, Mary Mugasa Akiki, also attended the patriotism training. The course aimed at imparting ideological clarity to the civil servants for enhancement of clean leadership in the ministry. The Director Nali, Brigadier General Charles Kisembo, said the institute trains not only Ugandans but civil servants in the East African region.
With increasing abduction cases in the country, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations has come out to clarify and call the public to distinguish between abduction and arrests. The Directorate spokesperson, Charles Twine, believes unscrumptious people are using detention to terrorize others through kidnap, among others. Take a look.
A drone is a Toyota Hiace vehicle which has earned itself a reputation of facilitating a number of people's disappearances.
Has virtually been exaggerated by some politicians. Drone is one of the most decent forms of transport we have. Very comfortable, and it's a box vehicle which protects the suspect.
The public is accusing this light commercial van of facilitating kidnappings in their communities.
But the drone was brought as an alternative to the pickups. Remember, some of the suspects we get are really VIPs. They need decent transport. And the police uses different means of transport.
The Directorate of Criminal Investigations has come out to unpack the concept of abductions.
Why some people tend to think that it's an abduction is that they don't know the intelligence the police has before the arrest. For example, we could be coming with intelligence that this person is armed, and you don't give him any space for him to prepare himself to draw any deadly weapon.
The Directorate's spokesperson is accusing some dishonest individuals of taking advantage of the situation to conduct abductions.
We have to have synergies to ensure that we fight kidnap and abduction meant for sacrifice, at the same time meant for trafficking. Because these are lucrative business which is actually growing in Uganda.
Some people are being accused of allegedly organizing kidnaps for political capital.
We have not really comprehended the issue of Munyaga. We don't know the game which is there. But what we know, for example, in 2020, November, riots, there were so many games. People were kidnapping themselves for cheap popularity. Somebody has a date. Somebody has a date and he fears to be arrested. Then he sends an audio that I am under arrest, but I don't know where I am. You see those games for purposes of political capital. But for us, we are not, we don't like to be diverted. And I can tell you, Uganda police does not and shall never have an arbitrary arrest.
The public is also being urged to differentiate between abduction and lawful arrests. Abdul Nasole Luwama, UBC News.
The leadership of Bukedi sub-region is excited to host the launch of the parish development model. State Minister for Bunyura Affairs, Jennifer Namuyango, says the time is now to bring people out of poverty. This argument is shared by LC5 Chairman, Butebo District, James Okrut, who wants leaders to practice what they preach on development.
Kibuku Church of Uganda Primary School in Kibuku District in eastern Uganda will be the place to be watched on Saturday. Government of Uganda is set to launch the new parish development model. The ground is set and the leaders are anxious.
So as we stand now, we are good to go. Our people are determined to ensure that we embrace the parish development model, which is focusing on fighting poverty in the household.
The choice of the venue stems from the infamous adage that the head of state often refers to concerning the Bagwere community.
Okolere kida chonka means subsistence farming, people only working for the stomach. And we are saying time is now for our people to change from only working for the stomach, but also working for cash.
This is the trend that area leadership looks forward to reversing through mindset change.
And the president has been spot on. He has said mine is better than ours. Ours meaning all the infrastructure that has been developed, the schools, the water, everything, the security, that is ours. It belongs to all of us. But when you go back to your own household, what do you have?
Tomorrow, President will release the baton and those circles are going to get money instantly. And the implementation will start with the first 17 million. Then the next financial year, come July, the circles will be getting the 100 million. So I believe Kibuku, we are benefiting fast.
In creating more effective awareness, however, leaders have to practice what they preach. This is the emphasis by LC5 Chairperson Butebo District, James Okurut.
If you are talking about increasing productivity, increasing production, you as a leader, what do you have in your home to show that you are doing this? Like for me, I do turkey rearing at home. I rear turkeys. I have citrus. Those are the activities, the enterprises that I've taken on as an individual, such that as people come and visit me, they should be in a position also to learn something from me.
Tents have been mounted, stalls have been set up, and demonstrations are already established. All this has been done to make the launch of the parish development model more meaningful. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Fresh graduates from different institutions have been challenged to embrace integrity, loyalism and professionalism along their future path. This call was made by both the Lands Minister, Judith Nabakova, and Kampala Lord Mayor, Arias Lukwago, during the first ever graduation ceremony for Keti Vocational Institute in Buziga, Kampala.
Kampala ECD Teacher Training and Vocational Institute has held its first ever graduation at a ceremony officiated over by the Lands Minister, Judith Nabakova.
Success of our daughters and sons.
The over 100 students bagged certificates and diplomas in various disciplines, more so in nursery teaching, fashion and designing.
Over the years, we have actually realized that graduates from such institutes are far much better than those from the mainstream. This is because the training and teaching in vocational institutes, like those, the training which is given to the learners, is very practical.
With many referring to graduation as a mileage achievement and others hoping for white-collar jobs, depending on their qualifications. However, the story beyond this has left many just hoping.
We are saying, can we vocationalize the training of teachers so that the teacher exits or graduates with this content knowledge, with this technology knowledge, with this subject matter knowledge, but also graduates with this vocational skills knowledge.
Institutions are many, they churn out so many graduates, but absorption capacity within the economy is very, very narrow. So that's a challenge we need to address. And that's the reason we are emphasizing creativity on the part of the individuals who have graduated.
Therefore, it has been underlined that the only determined, disciplined and professionals will dine from their academic excellence.
I'm sending a message for our graduates to always go, make decisions, decide what they want to be in life, because everything that someone has to turn in life is from what you decided from the very beginning.
For the graduates, I want to remind you that you are coming out at a time when our country is embarking on a serious development approach. Government has introduced the parish development model as a strategy that will enable the country to transform from a peasant to a middle income status. The role of teachers is very key in the transformation of our society.
Parents and guardians acknowledged the need for vocational skilling, as it is the only window which can help the youth access employment. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
The leader of the opposition in Parliament, Mathias Mpuga, has asked members of the shadow cabinet to vividly understand their roles as members of Parliament. The leader of the opposition made the remarks at the opening of the shadow cabinet retreat intended to discuss the opposition achievements since they attained offices 8 months ago. We have the details.
While speaking to the press at the opening of the shadow cabinet retreat, the leader of the opposition in Parliament, Mathias Mpuga, asked members of the shadow cabinet to understand their roles as members of the August House.
The expectations are even higher. Probably even the capacity could be relatively higher.
The retreat is intended to discuss the achievements and challenges so far faced during the 8 months of their service since May 2021.
And we can only summon our experience to work better because we have that benefit of experience and exposure.
Some of the MPs, including Kampala District Woman Member of Parliament Shamim Malende, Kyadondo East MP Muwadan Kunyinji, say that some of the challenges they faced are because of their NRM fellow counterpart MPs, whom they accuse of serving party interests other than people's interests.
So we find a challenge of them not supporting views that we have collected from the public or policies that we present in the interest of the people.
I remain resilient. With all this training, we energize ourselves, we know what is right, and we want to make priority the rights of people of Uganda here and abroad, the interests of the people of Uganda here and abroad, and we shall continue to resist any contrary foreign policy that don't advance the rights and interests of the people of Uganda.
Commenting about the proposed launch of the government-led parish development model due for Saturday this week in the district of Chiboko, the leader of the opposition in Parliament appealed to opposition MPs to study challenges in the program and identify gaps and remedies before the program suffers from setbacks of poor implementation like the previous programs, including Bunabaga Gawale and Tandikwa and many others.
So whatever is wrongly done in Parliament in your name, somehow you'll have a price to pay. So to avoid being part of the syndicate, you must be seen to question the wisdom of some actions. But you can never question wisdom unless you have knowledge over what is being done.
Shamim Naiga, Gloria Gutsabinji, UBC News.
The Court of Appeal has declined to grant city lawyer Malem Mabirizi's request seeking to set him free pending the determination of his appeal challenging the High Court decision to send him to jail for 18 months for contempt of court. Justice Christopher Madrama, while delivering his ruling, noted that the Court of Appeal lacks jurisdiction to grant the request by Mabirizi since the order of him having him arrested was already implemented when he was arrested on the 21st of February 2022.
Controversial lawyer Hassan Malem Mabirizi has this Friday appeared in Court of Appeal from Kitalia Government Prison before Justice Christopher Madrama to hear the ruling of his application he filed in this court. Mabirizi in the application wants court to set him free, pending his appeal applications filed in Court of Appeal, challenging the High Court orders. Justice Christopher Madrama, after perusing through both sides' submissions, declined to grant Mabirizi's application.
In the premises, the prayer to suspend the applicant's imprisonment and set him free pending his application or appeal, which has not been commenced, cannot be granted for want of jurisdiction. The cost of this application shall abide the outcome of the main application or the appeal as may be determined by the court, comprising of an uneven number of justices, not being less than 3.
Justice Madrama added that since Mabirizi was already arrested, the order by the High Court to showcase of why he shouldn't be committed to civil prison for contempt of court orders was overtaken by events.
The prayer to stay execution with regard to the notice to show cause issued by the High Court on the 9th of February 2022, why the applicant should not be committed to prison for violation of court order has been overtaken by events, as the applicant was arrested on the 21st of February 2022 and committed to Kitalia prison.
After delivering the ruling, Mabirizi filed for review of Justice Madrama's ruling and to grant him a temporary release.
Now that I'm before you, I humbly pray now that you grant me temporary release, pending my reference, or pending examination of the review.
I am functus official and cannot stretch Rule 2, Sub-Rule 2 of the rules of this court to reverse myself by making a positive order to release the applicant.
Meanwhile, Judge Musa Sekan has recused himself from handling Asani Male Mabirizi's files in the application he recently filed in High Court, asking court to halt the execution orders issued against him.
As of now, we don't have any intention to file a bail application, because an application to set aside orders includes removing the incarceration. So what we are now going to do is to go to the register. I think by Monday another judge would have been allocated. It is good that Justice Sekana is also acting principal judge, and I think this matter will be resolved very quickly so that we proceed to get a hearing date for the same applications that Male Mabirizi filed.
The execution orders include staying the High Court order, compelling him to pay a fine of 300 million or be committed to civil prison. Trouble for Hassan Male Mabirizi started when he disobeyed High Court orders and repeatedly attacked judicial officers, which actions Mabirizi declined to adhere. Following the High Court order, Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we'll return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
MBs are now bigger MBs only on MTN. When you load a daily bundle of 250 shillings, you no longer get 15 MBs, you get 30 MBs. For 500 shillings, you no longer get 40 MBs, you get 80 MBs. For 1,000 shillings, it's no longer 100 MBs, it's 180 MBs. Dial *150*10# or use the My MTN app to load bigger daily bundles only on MTN.
MTN is regulated by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Raising voices.
I feel happy when my father spends time with me. I hope all fathers will like my father. I want my father to reach out to all fathers. He knows how important it is to be a good father. I promise to help my father inspire other fathers to change.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
National Medical Stores is a government agency mandated to buy, store and distribute medicines and medical supplies to government health facilities in Uganda. For Ugandans that we serve, help us serve you better by taking your individual responsibilities seriously. Report theft of government medicines and medical supplies to the nearest police station or to the State House Health Monitoring Unit. Do not pay for any medicines or medical supplies labeled Government of Uganda, not for sale. Do all that is within your means to stop all preventable diseases, including COVID-19. Continue observing the Ministry of Health Standard Operating Procedures, SOPs, including wearing a face mask whenever you are in public spaces. Visit a designated health facility to receive your COVID-19 vaccination and a booster dose for those that are eligible. Prevention is better than cure. National Medical Stores, passionate about your life.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Baganda call it munene munene. The Banyankole muhango. The Acholi date don't date. The Bagishu humubafu. It means king size freshness for all. Movit Family Soap is giving you a fresh start for your family. This soap is indeed so big. Tagwerera muwangazi ate it has a great kawowo. Unaba, no naba, kare no nabi dala. Available in coconut, aloe vera, lemon and rose. Find the king size Movit Family Soap in all Dukas, Nespa markets close to you. Movit all day confidence.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back from that break. And now into the business scene. Government and stakeholders in the mining industry are urged to embrace a human rights-based approach to natural resource governance. The call has been made at the release of a 2-year assessment of human rights abuse in the oil-rich Albertine Graben and marble and gold-rich Karamoja sub-region. The report was made by ASF and ANAD cite rampant cases of human rights abuse. Take a look.
The extractive industries have the potential to spur development and improve the quality of life for the citizens through generation of significant revenues. However, human rights abuse is commonly cited in the global extractive industries infrastructure developments.
Human rights is often seen by government and also private development projects lead as an impediment, as something that hinders efficiency of project implementation.
As the EU, we are supportive of Uganda's efforts to develop a robust policy and legal framework that contributes towards increased transparency and accountability and human rights compliance in the governance of natural resources.
Advocates Sans Frontiers, in partnership with Advocates for Natural Resources and Development, have been implementing a 2-year project titled Empowering Communities and Civil Society Development to Demand for Good Governance in Natural Resources Management. It covered the resource-rich Albertine Graben and Karamoja sub-region. They report occurrences of human rights violations, which include compulsory land acquisition, child labor, poor remuneration, lack of access to information, environmental degradation, among others.
There were as well incidents of alleged corruption in both regions. In Karamoja particularly, the incident that was reported involved companies bribing local authorities to prevent artisanal scale miners from claiming higher wages.
In the right to property, we have also other still aspects that need to be fulfilled, okay? Public interest, then we need payment of a fair and adequate compensation. It's what the Constitution says. So who determines what is fair and adequate? It's the courts.
The report recommends a human rights-based approach to natural resource governance in order to protect the mining communities.
And the good thing is, when the policy which is currently awaiting assent by His Excellency the President were made, there was a lot of consultation before the sabbatical leave to go to Ministry of Works for 1.5 years. I was following all those laws and knew.
With the country experiencing a sharp rise in foreign direct investments targeting the nascent oil and gas sector and other mining ventures, analysts forecast a rise in human rights problems with dire consequences to the vulnerable communities. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
And now into sports. The Stanbic Uganda Cup round of 32 has continued this Friday with 4 games played across the country. At Philip Omondi Stadium, Lugogo, home side of the Kampala Capital City Authority Football Club, has been ejected by the Bright Stars Football Club. These all Uganda Premier League teams clash got off to a bright start for Bright Stars that took the lead after a wonder strike by Marvin Youngman in the 10th minute. The visitors remained the better side during the first stanza and rightly went in at halftime on top of proceedings. In the second stanza, Kampala Capital City Authority played better but couldn't find the required breakthrough. In the other, at the same venue, Police FC needed Juma Balinya's goal to see off stubborn Gaddafi. Maroons edged Ataka 3-0 in Soroti, while Bull FC outlasted Busoga United at Kakindu Stadium. Uganda Cup action continues on Saturday with Kalongo United hosting reigning champions Vipers. Bara City plays URA as Boma dates Kajansi United in Masindi. All right, now UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but do join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto and Muhammad Mugalu. We will see you at 10.